Alright folks, welcome back to Switzerland, where we have finished our war, and now we can return to diplomacy, as we attempt to burn off our coalition. I will also, well, coalition isn't formed, we kept it just shy of that. Let's trade favors for trust with Hungary. There we go, confirm. They now have... Let's see, that didn't actually increase by as much as I thought that was about to. Diplomacy. What did they ask for? Ha 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 ha, decline. Other thing we can do is decrease autonomy in Ulm. Trade favors for trust. I'm not really sure why that didn't take. There we go, confirm. There we go, now we have 100 trust with Hungary. 100 trust with France. I think we probably need to ditch Scotland as an ally. I don't think they're as powerful as someone like the Commonwealth would be, which is also allied with Hungary, and they're also much more powerful. So let us instead see if we can... Would you ally me? They think I'm too weak. Well, let's improve relations for a little bit and see what we can do. Gain stab. Yes, please. Alright, where is the army that needs 6? Mercenary company didn't recruit a new leader? Weird. We'll put your old leader that we stole? What's the saying? You can borrow anything at any time so long as you get it back before it's missed. There we go. Let's attach these cannons. Move somewhere where we might not take attrition. There we go. And fabricate claim on an area. We will do Eastern Burgundy. Just like keeping the option open to attack Burgundy if we want to. We could probably easily bring in France. Burgundy is allied with Austria and Spain, so it would not be easy, but they're sort of trapped between us. Looks like Bohemia is once again a valid rival, so we will just rival them right back. We need to revoke our access through Austria. Come back from the Pope. Or whoever vassal this is I'm improving with. Let us... Oh, they became reformed. There we go, cancel that. They became reformed. That's why they fell out of being the emperor. Which is wild, because they were the HRE emperor, and they became reformed. Probably because of this Center of Reformation in Scilly. That is wild. Now we can fabricate a claim on Western Burgundy as well. And we've got some very good diplomacy going. Monthly change is very low, both because of our building, our religious unity is high, we're at peace, we've got prestige, so there's a lot of good things going for us there. And then if I could only get Strasbourg to... When does this religious zeal expire? Still another 20 years. Knowledge sharing to Hungary? Sure. Interesting that they think my army is weak. Given that I think we're one of the more powerful armies actually here on the continent. Let's put a few more in the field. This army has 10, this army has 10, and that one has 10. This one needs 2 more. That one has only got... is a pretty small army. At some point it may make sense to ditch that army and just reinforce this one more. The other thing we can do is I believe we unlocked universities, which we are going to build everywhere. Alright, there we go. Here, give some cash to them. A lot of rebels over here. Well, there we go. We found a use for our obscene amounts of money. It was to build universities in like literally every province in the whole country. We could combine these because this only has 10,000. This army only a traveling minstrel. Wow, we've got so much stab that we can't even do it. Diplomatic rep, whatever. We'll take that 50 admin. Because this army only has 10 on the front line. So we probably should attach this gentleman to this one. Actually, we should bring them all down into the lowlands here. We will attach to the Schwarzguard. And then I believe we are at the cap, so let's use a little manpower here to expedite this construction. There we go. Giving us a little prestige and clergy. Then we will spend some more money to move that forward. And look at that. The money gets spent pretty quickly sometimes once you get going. Establish cantonments. We will use that to get more manpower. Looks like we have managed to get our governing capacity up, so now we don't have to worry about that anymore. Dubious spending practices. I think we can do that because we have a beneficial ability. If there's somewhere we can stand, these guys can stand there. To the Reichslauder. Now when they move, everybody comes along. Excellent. Because of our espionage ideas, we're ahead of time, and because of the vetting from our espionage ideas, it actually goes down quite quickly, so we can take some corruption and burn it off pretty fast. I don't think we need this reform progress growth anymore because we're basically at the end. Religious society. Religious diplomat. Let's take off the clerical education. Because we will need potentially more absolutism, and we already have almost completed all of our government reforms. We're about to cap out on Diplo power. I don't think we can use it. Prospering times. Let's see, Endure Lock. Let's give it production. Yeah, that was a huge event. That is a lot of development there. All right. Pause. I think everybody has their universities now. Don't think there's any technology that can be taken. No, we're far too far ahead of time, and so now it will be time for some development, since we may be doing quite a bit of development, and we also have capacity because we have gotten more governing capacity. So let's turn on our development cost boost, and then we will just go look at development. This is, oh my gosh, Mulhausen. Why is this so low? My goodness. Okay, well, we will develop that up as far as it'll go. And probably put in a little military. This is grain, but we'll just give it all the Diplo that we can. Dump some development here. Why is Mulhouse and Baden so low? Renaissance, oasis of peace and prosperity, infrastructure, farmlands, prosperity. A lot of good stuff going for these provinces. So good for them. Don't really care about whether England is fighting with natives. They're just not super interested in us. Need to turn off our stability. We just really need diplomacy, and we can almost sit. Once we convert that last province, then we will basically be able to sit on, and our high prestige, just sit on this and constantly be having our improved relations faster. Like we can build another province in Strasbourg because we developed. Still don't think we have any provinces that have mountains or hills. I think France has got these. These are hills. We could build some here just for the sake of. Because we don't, just for the sake of army tradition. Because we don't have enough forts, I don't think. No, we do not have enough forts, so let's go ahead and build some more. Really, this is just for army tradition. Let's build 2 fortresses. Luckily, our subjects are very loyal, so it doesn't really matter. We will keep our gentlemen. And we're going to have to bump this up so that we can build a rampart. There we go. Zurich probably will need the same thing. It does. There we go. Our new general, Grand. Yep, still have plenty of capacity. We should use some of our spy network here to sabotage their recruitment. We'll build a spy network on Bohemia as well. And then just to mess with them. Like we're getting close to maxing out manpower, so let's expedite this a little more. Age of Absolutism is here. Alright, finally the Centers of Reformation are gone, so that way when Strasbourg loses its religious zeal, we'll actually be able to convert this to what we need to. We definitely have multiple universities, that's for sure. Absolutism of 90. Multicultural nation. Alright, I think this is what we were looking for. The most desirable mercenaries have been those who call Switzerland and Swabia. Now there are no more independent Swabian states. The demand for Swiss mercenary has only increased. We'll be able to charge higher rates, and the lack of Swabians to challenge will only further the frightening reputation. So this event triggers when you get rid of all the independent Swabian nations. So this is why we had to eat Ulm, because we had a claim on it and we had to get rid of it in order to trigger the mercenary monopoly. And so this will give us 20 prestige, 15 army professionalism, 20 army tradition, and merc monopoly until the end of the game, giving prestige from land battles and mercenary manpower. That is huge. Let us, in the meantime, let us drill a few armies over here. Keep capitalizing on that. Production research flawed. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care. The funny thing is, we don't really care about our merchants being slandered because we don't make barely any money from that. If we can expand infrastructure in a few provinces down here, which now that we have governing capacity, we can do. War has changed. Lots of mercs become available. Let's see what we got. Not a very good general at all. Just go through. France, you should have knowledge shared from me. We can do it again. Nope, it was just a lag. May have opened the ability to build further manufactories. Looks like one. It is probably worth building these in these provinces down here. Because we are collecting from trade down here. Oh. Scotland, your faithful ally, is requesting their aid. We've come to their aid in the Portuguese-Scottish West Indian Colonial War. Portugal is allied with Spain and Ethiopia. Who else are you allied with? Sweden. Ugh. No, Scotland, I'm out. I'm not participating. I've been thinking of ditching Scotland. I should have ditched them beforehand. Scotland's about to attack them as well. Excellent. No more Scottish imbroglio. Sorry, Scotland. That was just not a good... Scotland was just no longer a good ally. They were good once, but... Let's trade favors for trust. Let's just bump that up one. Full trust to France. Now, let's see about that mercenary company. Sure, you are welcome to have access to Spain, because I do not want to participate in that war. So let's see what they had there. Hessian Jägerkorps. Holy cow. I think that's a pretty good army there. They've got more cannons, and they've got a lot of buffs with discipline, fire, and shock. I think what we're going to do is we're going to hire the Hessian Jägerkorps. And then we're going to disband some of these other ones that are weaker. Like this one. Under Gunther Reichberg. Unless he's just an amazing general. Nah, this general's fine. So we're gonna get rid of this smaller army. Here we go. Still going to be quite over the force limit. What I probably will do is get rid of this one as well. There we go. And we will instead use the Hessian Jägerkorps as our new, kind of new and improved army. Yeah, that's a much better army. There we go, and we're right under the force limit, so that worked out perfectly. See here, this army now has 10 cannons, this one has 10 cannons, this one has a little over 10 cannons, this one now actually will have 15 cannons, so that's not bad. Attached to the Hessian Jägerkorps. This general is okay, but not as good as the one that came before. Let's use our sabotage Bohemia. Let us sabotage their recruitment. I think we're getting close to the cap again on our manpower, so let's spend a little bit to advance the Unminster. I think we've completed those, so let us build the ramparts in our 2 new fortress provinces. Looks like Bragans does not have, it's a mountain, but does not have the ramparts it needs. Go. Can't build ramparts without Burgundy is no longer a valid rival. I've eclipsed them. Gonna do that. First, circumnavigation. We still have no boats and do not care. Let us build our ramparts. It's like, whatever, Burgundy, do whatever you want. You're not big enough to be our rival because we've devved ourselves out. Looks like oh, actually, we're getting kind of close. We're gonna have to slow our roll on the development here. How's this coalition looking? Looks like that's the Palatinate. They're not valid. 22, so we're getting close. Venice is allied with England, Spain, and Lucca. There we go. Looks like we've actually spent down our money pretty much. There we go. Alright, not a lot of wars or action, but we've burnt off a lot of the, as you can see, we've burnt off a pretty good bit of the aggressive expansion. And so now we just need to decide who are we going to attack next. The mission tree would say we need to attack either Austria or Venice. Those would be our prime targets, so to speak. If we attack Austria, then we're up against England, Burgundy, a bunch of miners, and then because they're in the Empire, and we are not anymore, then we're going to have to fight Bohemia, as well as Bohemia's allies. So a lot of folks here. The advantage of going against Venice is they have a much smaller alliance block, so they have a lot of miners, and then England and Spain. And so I suspect that in the next episode, we will probably, if we can get it low enough, probably go for an attack here, and probably bring in all the allies that we can, just stack the deck against them. Maybe Hungary wants something and we can call them in. And then that would stack the deck heavily in our favor. England is distracted and wouldn't even join. So we'll see whether they actually end up joining or not. That would make it much easier. So I look forward to seeing you next time.